DEESLIMDAOG at STAYSOLIDISDAMOVEMEnt. Praise be to the Most High. Yeah, we back with another one. But story time. The day my mama died was the worst day of my life. Yeah, that was like the worst day of my life, man. But we're gonna kind of like we're gonna fast forward a little bit before we get to that, man. Just to give you a little rough draft. But I know a lot of times when death come to a person that's close to us, and I know after it's over, we try to think like what's any signs or anything like that. That's why I said we're gonna start like kind of like from the beginning a little bit. But you know, it was like my birthday weekend. You know what I'm saying? It was my birthday weekend. You know, my 43rd birthday to be exact. I had never been to Las Vegas ever before in my life. You know, I'm a Georgia native, never been to Las Vegas, but my mom Duke, shout out to the OG, Beverly Ann. You know, she had always been going. My mama had always been going to Las Vegas, man. My mama was a real baller like that, so she moved around a lot. You know, so she would move, she would go places, she would go on trips. You know, I would go places too, but like, she went like, you know, out the country, but she was really keen on me getting to Vegas because I was always talking about going to Las Vegas. You know, I ran the streets and ran a lot of places, but I had never been to Las Vegas. So, you know, that was my birthday gift from my mama, man, us going to Las Vegas. You know what I mean? Not knowing that this would be the last time that I would ever spend with my mama. You know what I mean? That's why I tell guys and gals, everybody, if you got a mama, you know, appreciate her and value her while you got her, no matter what y'all go through in life, you know what I mean? Because don't no instructions come with being a parent, man. But you know, it was my birthday weekend, man. You know, we went to you know, we flew out to Las Vegas. We left from Charlotte, North Carolina. You know what I mean? It was me, my mama, her husband, and you know, one of his buddies. You know what I'm saying? So we was, you know, we geeked up. I'm pretty much excited about going out here to Las Vegas. You know what I mean, with my mama, you know what I mean, to kick it for my birthday, you know what I'm saying, just doing my own thing, me and Mom Dukes. And me and Mom Dukes is pretty tight, yo. So, you know, like I said, me and Mom Dukes is pretty tight, you know what I mean. I'm the firstborn, but not only that, I gave Mom Dukes a hard time in life, so I probably taught her how to be a mama, you know what I mean, real talk. So, you know, I went out there, me and Mom Dukes, her old man and aunt, you know, we went out there, we flew out there from Charlotte, North Carolina. I think it took us like 4 hours and stuff like that. We on a plane, and me and my mama, we sitting beside each other. You know, and the craziest thing about this, man, is like, you never know, man, what God got planned, man, for your life, or what God gonna do to people that's around you, man. That's why it's very important, man, to love people and treat them right and spend time with them and kick it with them, because you never know when somebody's time gonna be called. So, man, we on the plane, man. My mom sleep on my shoulder, and at that time, I'm still doing YouTube. So I'm filming a little YouTube from the plane, you know, as we land in Las Vegas. You know what I mean? I'm trying to film the script. I wake my mama up. You know what I mean? My mama was talking. You know, I hear my mama talking on my video, and that's the last real conversation, you know what I mean, that I had recorded of my mama's voice, you know what I mean, on audio. So my mama was talking on that. So, you know, we landed, man. You know, it was cool, man. It's probably maybe like 11 something at night. The weather was good, and this is in October. This around October, so it's fall in Las Vegas. It ain't really hot at night, you know, the weather good, you know, shit like that, man. So, you know, we get out, we get there, you know, we unpack, we chilling, everybody kicking it. We kind of tired, but you know, everybody still crunk. Everybody, you know, kind of having a good time. But let me pause right here, y'all. But y'all know what's so crazy? Something just didn't feel right. Yo, something just didn't fucking feel right. Yo, from the beginning of the whole thing, it's just like something wasn't right. You know, I should have been happy, but I just felt real empty, man. Something just didn't feel right, but I just couldn't put my finger on it. You know what I'm saying? I just couldn't put my finger on it, man, but something just didn't feel right. So we went along here, did what we did. You know, we went out, you know, got a couple drinks, kicked it. We walked the boulevard and stuff like that. Everybody laid down. You know, we got up the next day. I believe the next day, it might have been a Saturday. I can't remember, but we got up the next day. We was really crunk that day. We was very excited that day. You know what I'm saying? The money was good. Because at that time, my mama had a little gig she was doing. because she was like an RN, and she was like riding around, you know, like doing some like COVID tests, and I was the driver, so we had a little hustle that we did every day. You know what I mean? So the money was all right, you know what I'm saying, getting paid every week. I ain't got to be there all day because I'm breeding dogs, so you know, that's perfect for me. You know what I mean? I can get my little change extra with me breeding dogs, and then I'm with mom, dude, so you know, I ain't being stressed. You know, she ain't making it hard for me. All I got to do is drive all day. So that was cool, man. So it's like everything was good, man. You know, that's why it feel like sometimes when shit be feeling like it's too good to be true, it make it feel like it is. But yeah, anyway, you know, that day we was real crunk, man. That Saturday we got up, we was real crunk, man. And it was a good day that day. We went out, you know, shopping, man. We went out to eat. Matter of fact, we went out to eat, man. We got real full that day. Yeah, we got real full that day. And so we went back, you know, to the Airbnb where we were staying at, because we was at an Airbnb. You know, if you don't know what an Airbnb is, I hope y'all know what an Airbnb is. It's 2025. But an Airbnb ain't nothing but it's like a little, kind of like a personal hotel, like a house that somebody rent out or something. But we had a nice ass little Airbnb. So we went back, you know what I mean, and we laid down, man. We took a good ass nap. We got back up, you know what I'm saying? Everybody refreshed again. You know, we ready to do the damn thing again. So let's walk and talk. So, you know, we get up, we recharge, we ready to do the thing up again. But, you know, we feeling good. You know, we feeling real good, man. So we out, you know, we got a little alcohol in us, man. We feeling good, man. And I specifically remember being in the shower, man. And I remember, you know, singing a song by I forgot this group be singing about getting wasted. You know, I forgot the name. I can't think of the name of the song right now, but it's something about getting wasted. And my mama, she heard me singing that, and that took her huff, man, to death. So she laughed about it because, man, we really having a good time, and she really wanted to make me. It's really for me. I never been to Las Vegas in my life, so you know, this is that. I'm in my transition point of my life from really coming from the streets. You know, I'm working and shit. I'm doing the right thing. I ain't really hustling no more. You know, I'm trying to do the right thing. So I'm transitioning my life, trying to do better. And me and my mom relationship is got great. Man, I'm gonna tell y'all something. You know, don't let the enemy steal your relationship with your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother. You know, anything could be worked out, man. If y'all ain't killed each other, you could work it out, man. Let me say that. You definitely could work it out. But, man, we had a good time. We got lit. But in the shower that night, my mama heard me singing, and she was just glad that I was enjoying myself. You know, she was just glad that the OG was just having a good time. You know what I mean? Because at the time I was going through some stuff, and she was just wanted me to have a good time. And this was during COVID season too. So, you know, we had a good time, man. You know, it was a great time. And, you know, that day, me and my mom ain't never really took a whole bunch of pictures together. But that day, she insisted that we take a picture. So we took a picture that day, everything, man, you know, all that, had a good time. So I think like the next day, it was the next day, the day after, we had to be out. So, you know, we wasn't there but like 3 or 4 days. So the next day, 2 days, we packed our stuff up, you know, to fly home. And, you know, just like any other day, you know, I felt like, you know, man, but something still just didn't feel right with me, man. Something just didn't feel right. And my mama kept asking me, was you good? Yeah, let me tell y'all that she kept the whole time, man. She was always asking me, was I okay? She was always checking in, asking me, was I good? She was always asking me, was I good? She always was saying, is you good? Is you good? Yeah, I'm good, Mom. Yeah, I'm good. You know, just checking on me, you know, just to make sure that, you know, I'm having a good time. But not knowing that, hey, man, my mom finna get ready to leave this world, man, you know, in about 24 hours. You know, in a couple hours. You know, so, you know, you never know, man. Death could be crazy, man, but she kept asking me, was I good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. She asked me, did I have a good time? I'm like, yeah, I had a great time. Got to watch out for that goose because he might get crazy. But yeah, I said, yeah, I had a great time, which I really did. But in reality, honestly, something wasn't right. I couldn't figure out what it was, but I knew just something wasn't right, man. Something wasn't right, man. I just had a feeling something wasn't right. So we flew home. We flew to North Carolina. And from there, we flew back to my mom's hometown where she was living at the town, which is South Carolina. So we flew back home. And her old man, which is her husband, he drives trucks. Yeah, he drives trucks. So, you know, that day, as soon as we got back, he took off to go to work. just like any other day, man. You know, like you ain't thinking that, hey, man, look, somebody gonna die today. So her old man, he took out went to go back to work. You know, and at the time, my mom had custody of my uncle. She had my uncle. You know, he suffered from schizophrenia, so she been taking care of him. So, you know, he was there. And, you know, like I said, I was coming through visiting because we just left Las Vegas. But that day, man, you know, just like any other day, man, we there, we kicking it. My mom asked me, did I have a good time? I'm back. I'm like, yeah, you know, I had a good time. And I was like, well, damn, you know, God, ain't nothing happened. I don't know why I was feeling funny, but nothing ain't happened. So I'm thinking, okay, we finna go back to regular life. So that day rolls on just like any other day. Just like any other normal day, you know, go on when you with your mama, or your daddy, or your sister, your brother, or your loved ones, whatever you doing. You know, we kept on going. So we took a nap. So about 7 o'clock, I might have got up. My mama woke up. You know, actually, I'm outside, actually really working on a YouTube video, trying to come up with some content about my dogs. And, you know, about maybe like 8 o'clock, 8:30. And actually, my mom had to go to work. Let me remind you, my mom always was a real hustler too, man. You know, she actually had to be to work that night on a third shift job. She had to be to work, I think, at 9 o'clock. But around about like, I guess it was like 7:45, almost 8. She said she was kind of hungry and she didn't know she really wanted to go in. But she said, man, now she was going to go in. Matter of fact, she had to be to work at 11 o'clock. That's what it was. So I went to Burger King. And at the time, that's when, if y'all know about them Impossible Whoppers, them Impossible Whoppers was out. And I had never ate one. And she was like, I tell you what, go get us some Impossible Whopper. I got us, it's on me. So I was like, all right, bet, all right, it's cool. I ain't never ate one, I'll try one. So I, you know, jumped in the whip, rolled down to Burger King, got me, her, my uncle, shout out to my Uncle Jerry. You know, I went and, you know, got us an Impossible Whopper, just like it was just any other time. So by the time I got back to the house, right, my mom was on the couch chilling just like any other time. I came in there, I gave her hers, I gave my uncle his, you know, and I went outside. And I'm sitting outside on the porch chilling, like I said, thinking on the YouTube content. And maybe almost about 8:45, getting close to 9 o'clock, my mom come running to the door, telling me that she can't breathe. So right there at that time, man, I'm just thinking like my mama is a hypochondriac. She fucking with me right now, trying to be funny. And she like, nah, I really can't breathe. So now I'm panicking. I'm thinking like, you know, she having an asthma attack. I ain't thinking that, oh man, my mama finna die. So she really panicking and stuff like that. So she telling me where to go get the medicine at. So I'm running all through the house, because at the time I'm just visiting her house. I'm running all through the house looking for the medicine that she tell me, telling me where it's at. I can't find the medicine nowhere. And at this time, I see my mama panicking, man. She can't breathe, and I'm watching my mama, like, and my mama red, she light skin. Let me describe her. She light. Yeah, she like Michael Jackson light. She that type of light, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, she Michael Jackson light. And let me say this, one thing about my mama was scared of death. See, people always play with death, but until you really seen somebody die, you really don't really know a lot about death. To see somebody that's dying and they know they dying, it can be a painful and a fucked up thing to ever see. And it's something that's gonna always stick with you, yo. But I'm watching my mama, she can't breathe. I'm starting to panic now, because I'm running through the house. Shit get real now. This is where you start thinking when you was in elementary school and when you was a child, when you had kids that you grew up with, when they had a mama or a dad die, somebody close to them, and you just, that eerie feeling that you got, that came to my mind. I was like, oh no, I know, please don't let my mama die. So I'm running through the house looking for the medicine, saying, please don't let my mama die. And as I'm saying this, my mama is running around, she panicking, she losing her breath too. So imagine your mama, your daddy, your son, and your daughter running through the house, can't breathe. And in my mind, I'm thinking she having a heart attack. So I'm on the phone, I'm calling the ambulance. I'm like, yo, can you please get out here, man? My mom, I think she dying, man. I think she having a heart attack. I said, I think she having a heart attack. I said, Mom, please, hold on, Mom. So I'm begging my mama to hold on. I'm begging, she's sweating, man. She's sweating. So we go on the porch. I take my mom on the porch, man. I'm praying to God in the name of Jesus. Mom, sit down. So I see her now, she's starting to really get faint. I see now she's starting to like lose the fight. Like I see her fading out. I see her eyes getting black. Like I said, she was Michael Jackson red. So now she's starting to turn purple. So now she's sitting down like she's getting calm. I'm like, oh, Mom. I'm like, man, she dying, man. So I'm praying to God. I know what's going on. So my mama laid down. She began to lay down. And the neighbors just so happily, man, to be outside, man, and they white. That's why I tell people you can't always judge people about color, because these people, man, was like an angel that night. Even though my mama died, they mentally was able to coach me and help me through it. So the neighbors ran over there to me, man, and he was trying to give my mama CPR, man. And my mama on the ground, she seizing, she foaming out the mouth, and this is my birthday, like this is my birthday today. Matter of fact, this is like going on the 7th. My birthday is on the 8th. So, you know, my mama on the ground, foaming out the mouth, and he said, man, you know, you gotta try to breathe in the mouth. I guess she didn't feel comfortable. And this is, I ain't gonna lie, this is the most disgusting thing that I ever seen. But watching somebody die close to you, and they seizing and they foaming out the mouth, and I had to put my mouth on their mouth, but that's my mama. You know, I had to do what I had to do. So I did that, man, and I did that, and it didn't, nothing was working. Nothing was working, man. So we calling the ambulance telling us that, hey, you know, they on the way. But the most craziest thing happened while this was going down. I knew my mama was dying. And in the midst of that, I see her said, and I'm gonna tell y'all something crazy. Like every bad thing that I did as a teenager, robbing, selling crack, you know, just doing every bad thing, a lot of things that I did came to my mind when I was watching my mama die. That's why I tell y'all young ninjas out here, be careful what you out here doing, because you might do some shit out here that might come back on your mama, your dad, or even your kids, man. So I'm watching my mama die, and I'm like, Lord, my mama don't deserve this. What the hell going on? You know, and at this time, I'm still saying, praise be to the Most High. Because I got Satan over here on my left, still like, yeah, look, watch this. He laughing at me. All this, oh, you praise be to the Most High, and keeping God first, and he finna take your rock, the one you love. But now I ain't let Satan trick me like that, because I was upset at that point in time, because I'm watching my mama die. You know, I'm watching my mama go out, man. And let me tell y'all something. I mean, I can't explain it. I'm trying to explain this. If anybody ever lost a loved one and ever seen them die, had to watch them die, you know that feeling I'm talking about of I couldn't help her, and I know she dying, and she knows she dying, is that look that she had on her face. You know, it's the look that my mama had on her face that I'll never forget until the day I leave this earth, man. And I couldn't help her, man. And I just seen her when she just passed out and she couldn't take it no more. And one of the saddest things about it was when I seen her dog. She had a little dog, a little chihuahua. The chihuahua got on her and wouldn't let nobody touch her but me. You know, me in the ambulance, man. You know, so it was rough, man. So I'm there, man, waiting on the ambulance. I guess it might have took them damn near probably 40 minutes. Because my mama was brain dead when she got there. So I'm gonna tell y'all something. When people be brain dead, 9 times out of 10, they ain't gonna make it, man. And that's just a way for these white people to make some money, insurance money, by trying to keep them alive. Cause they can keep you alive while you on a machine, long as they want, but you ain't breathing on your own, and that ain't gonna be no good for you. So, you know, they finally did show up, man. And you know, that day, I'm gonna explain it to you. Out of anything that ever happened to me in my life, I felt that was the worst thing that ever happened to me. Yo, it's 3 things that people fear the most in life. And I'm going to be real with y'all. And y'all can keep it real in the comment section. Ain't got to say nothing. Drop 100. But catching HIV, catching the life sentence, and watching your mama die. Them is like some of the worst things that a person could ever got to go through in life. And that was one of them. And that was like horrible for me. That was devastating, yo. Like, that was so heartbreaking. Like, I was like so heartbroken. And see, what's crazy now is I can share the story with y'all now. 3 years ago, I couldn't share this story. I couldn't bear to stand up here and tell y'all this. That's why I had to do this story. Like, this one ain't for the likes or the views. This one about the OG. You know, because me watching my mama die, it changed my life. You know, sometimes you might go through the worst stuff in the world to bring you out better on the other side. You know, and that's the real true, the moral of the story, man. You got a parent, you got a mama, you got a daddy, you got somebody that's in your life, appreciate them. Because for seriously, man, that's your cushion in life. That's your cushion. You know, and when the Most High God remove your cushion from you, man, you know, you got to be straight. You got to be really ready to stand on your own 2 feet, man. But yeah, that was the worst day of my life, man. I felt that day I wish that I was never born. That day money didn't mean nothing to me. So when you go through real situations like that, and you be able to sustain and keep your faith and be able to still stand up and say praise be to the Most High, you know, you don't need validation from nobody no more. You don't, you know, and what it taught me is that God showed me that even though I lost my mama, I still was never alone because I had him. You know, so I lost my mama, man. I got off track for a little while because losing a loved one, man, can be hard, bro. That could be real hard, and especially if you're not prepared for that. My mama died out the blue. You know, she was healthy as a horse, at least we thought. You know, they said that she passed away from walking pneumonia in the clogged lung. You know what I mean? And, you know, so, you know, it is what it is, man. But it showed me if God just really it was really confirmation on my life, man. And I'm going to tell you something. It also showed me to get serious about my life and start doing what God wanted me to do. Because here's the truth about that. We argue back and forth about what color God is and these different denominations like gangs and shit like that. But at the same time, man, God could do anything he wanna. He could be anybody he wanna, any place he wanna, at any time that he wanna, man. But that showed me that God was really real. Because that could have been me. That could have been me instead of my mama. But it wasn't, man. You know what I mean? And she probably wouldn't have took it no other way. But that was the worst day of my life, man. So this is for anybody that lost a parent, a loved one, a child. You know what I mean? I know that feeling. I know that pain. I know that heartbreak, that you can't eat, you can't sleep. You know, that nobody, and it's hard to talk to somebody that never been through it. That's what made me want to be a life coach. That's what made me want to dedicate my life to helping people when I had to sit and watch my mama die. I was like, man, I would never wish this on nobody else. I would never wish this pain on nobody else in the world. You know, out of all the stuff you can go through in life, but to sit and have to watch a loved one die, man, it's hard, man. Especially when y'all got a great relationship. Y'all see each other every day. Y'all talk every day. You know, it just happened out the ram and out the blue. And, you know, I'm going to say this. You know, I cried a lot of days, man. I had a lot of sleepless nights, man. But with God Almighty, man, you know, I made it through. I'm still here. And the Most High still using me, man. Yeah, and I hope y'all got something out of this one. Yeah, but this was story time, man. Yeah, the worst day of my life. It's your hood therapist, DEESLIMDAOG. Yeah, and until the next time, knowledge is power. Stay solid, it's the movement. Y'all stay solid, stay blessed. Peace and shalom. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. We out.